What happens now?
The captain wants to talk to you some more.
Do I get more whiskey?
No, just a jail cell later.
Oh my God!
Okay, Gnome, if you're innocent like you claim, can you give us any information on the man in the parking lot?
Well, he was from India, 5'3", 120 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, driving a 2015 Honda, Oregon license plate IMA 001.
You had the car and license plate information all along? Why didn't you mention this earlier?
You never asked me.
O'Brien, run that plate for an address and show Mr. Gnome here his cell.
No, not that. No! Mr. O'Brien, can you make a video of me? I want to send a message to Buzz 1151.
Okay, but hurry it up.
Hello, Buzz. This is Dickel F. Lockett speaking to you from behind bars in my jail cell at the Beavertown Police Department. First off, I sincerely apologize for taking your wallet, your credit cards, and car, and then drawing out $1,700 bucks. I have no excuses. I did it. Please, Buzz, give me another chance so I can right this wrong. I promise to pay you back every penny. Have mercy on this poor, pitiful excuse for a gnome. I have seen the light, and I swear I am a changed Dickel F. Lockett. I want to go home and spend Christmas with you and Wifey 1151. Buzz, please get me out of here. Please, Buzz. It's Christmas.
Well, here we are on part 4 of this 1934 Westinghouse series. Now today I'm going to do a few things here. I've got to get the speaker ready for testing. I've got to clean the chassis. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I've got to wind that secondary winding on the output transformer. But one thing I wanted to point out here, you know how clumsy Buzz is. Well, I was trying to be careful with this speaker, but
Oh no.
even when I was handling it, I said, Buzz, be careful. What did I do? I was handling it like this, then I took my finger and caused this here.
Oh my God, he's an idiot.
It didn't go all the way through, so it just separated this part here. But what I've noticed on this speaker here is that on the surround part here, it's getting very worn here from it going in and out, in and out. So I'm going to get some rubber cement and put it on here because I need something flexible to try to preserve that.
What a dope!
I think you can see a little bit there. And I had to de-rust this.
Shall we see these pictures?
Yes, I'd love to see them.
Same thing on this. So I've got to watch out, man. Just watch your fingers on this, Buzz. I'll tell you. Alright, let's get to that coil here. Okay, right here you can see the stress, and it's going all the way around the speaker here. So I'm going to apply some rubber cement on there and see what happens. I'm just going to use the Elmer's rubber cement.
And now, for the first time, we are bringing to you the full story of what happened on that fateful day.
Probably have to do 2 coats.
I've worked hard all of my life, and I've got nothing at all to show for it.
Guess I'll put some over here.
That's yours in your head, kid.
I'll put some here too.
Ah, it's so good, eh?
And it better work, or I'm out over $200.
There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Yanks go marching in. I want to be their boy and spread some joy when they take old Berlin. There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Brooklyn boys begin to take the joint apart and tear it down when they take old Berlin. They're gonna start a row and show 'em how we paint the town back in Kokomo. They're gonna take a hike through Hitler's Reich and change that Heil to what you know, Joe. There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Yanks go marching in. You could never keep 'em happy down on the farm after they take Berlin.
There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Yanks go marching in. I wanna be their boy, spread some joy when they take over Berlin.
And may I join you?
There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Brooklyn boys begin to take the joint apart and tear it down when they take over Berlin. They're gonna start a row and show them how you paint the town back in Michigan. They're gonna take a hike through Hitler's Reich and change the Heil to give me some skin. There'll be a hot time
in the town of Berlin when the Yanks go marching in. You're never gonna keep 'em happy down on the farm after they take Berlin.
There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Yanks go marching in.
Go marching in.
I wanna be their boy, spread some joy
when they take Berlin, the Yanks go marching in.
There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Brooklyn boys begin.
The boys begin
to take the joint apart and tear it down when they take Berlin. There'll be a hot time in the town of Berlin when the Yanks go marching in. You could never keep 'em happy down on the farm.
The life of these would never please, they'd shudder with alarm.
No, you couldn't keep 'em happy down on the farm after they take Berlin.
Don't touch that dial.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love like glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart.
like a job for Super Chicken.
Well, there's the chassis. After it's cleaned, and I put a little polish on it.
Mr. Brasso cleans in a snap.
Doesn't look like new, but good enough. I sanded down all the solder that was over here. This was, I'm gonna put the transformer in. If I didn't tell you before, this is not the original transformer.
No kidding.
The one that was in there mounted like that, so the thing was up. I can't do that with this. I'm gonna have to mount it like this.
Let's mount up.
And I'll just have enough room to use some washers to bolt it in. Well, I've been working hard on this. I redid these two circuit boards with some new capacitors.
Don't give up your day job.
Now these are a pain in the butt to do, I'll tell you. All the capacitors on there, they were marked at one time, but I couldn't read any of them. So I had to get the schematic out and try to figure out which one was which. And boy, what a pain.
It's a pain in the butt being politically correct.
To get the speaker ready for testing, I carefully soldered the field coil wires to copper strips, and then glued onto the spool. Then soldered two wires on the other end. There it is, looking pretty damn good. Then I wrapped the coil in tape and inserted it onto the core. Before I could bolt it, I had to clean the rusty screws and other parts. Here's the output transformer. Next, assembling the E-core plates, then the I-core plates, and then carefully fitting the frame pieces together. Here's the completed output transformer, then putting together the field coil with the de-rusted screws. And finally, ready to test. Hey kids, what time is it? It's speaker time.
Oh boy, I can hardly wait.
Well, after all that work, getting the circuit boards replaced with those capacitors, this is the first test of my wound coils. Output transformer, I wound the secondary. I wound the field coil, about 8.5 ounces of wire on there. It measures about 2.9K. Now, I wanted to mention, I've got all these extra shims left here.
Oh, brother!
I must have made mine taller because I had the two edges on there, but I might be able to fit a couple more in there, but you know, I don't know about. I guess these are for various sizes of the coil. I also noticed there was looks like a brass one in there, a brass washer.
You big dope.
I hope that doesn't have to be in there for it to work. I don't know. And I've only got 2 screws in it, just in case I have to take it apart again. So I'm nervous again here. But let's fire it up here. Here we go. Variac is hot. Box is hot.
Fire it up, Dad!
B+ voltage. Here's the AC amps. I hope this doesn't smoke. Or this one. Okay, for the first test of Buzz's coil winded coils. Here we go. We'll just go up to 30. Should pick up some B+. I wanted to mention these are the electrolytics here. I still have not restuffed that can, so that's why all these are hanging out here. That's looking good. We'll just go up to 60.
Steady, trooper. Steady.
Now with almost 3K of wire on there, I think my B+ is going to be down a little bit. Of course, that's what Brendan said, so I don't know. Alright, let's go up to 90.
This is great. Where do we go after the second feature?
I don't hear anything yet. Hey. I got my broadcaster on. It's working! I don't know how good, but let's go up higher here. It's about 100. This B+, I'm picking it off the output tube. It should be about 240, so we're a little low there. Let's go up a little bit higher. That's okay there. We're about 115 here, I think. Coil feels slightly warm, but nothing.
That ain't bad, H-hole.
Let's get something else here on the broadcaster.
If you can't get BBC, how about a little Guy Lombardo?
Bottles quiet. Can't use that dog on my milk diet.
Help, it's happening.
It's global warming.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Well, we're back. I just knocked off one of the wires here on the circuit board.
Oh, brother.
But it don't sound too bad.
I believe we could do better.
What I think I'll do is I'll play with some of those shims. Maybe add a couple more if I can.
I congratulate you, little boy. Well done.
Let me turn this around very carefully.
Be careful.
There you are.
It's been a long week. Put a lot of hours in to get this video out. You gotta do the repairs before you can do the video.
Stop whining.
But I can't believe it. My coils are working. My buzz coils. Okay, that should do it for this episode.
Merry Christmas!
We'll see you next time. Be good. This is Buzz.
To all of us, everywhere. A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears.
God bless us, everyone.